So I had this video planned for like a couple days after the special came out when this whole thing was really kind of blowing up, but I kind of held it off because I figured that this whole thing would kind of evolve as a situation going on the internet. And I guess I was kind of right because the Rotten Tomatoes score has changed. I think it was at like 17% when this whole thing really kind of took off. It is now up to a 30%, and on top of that, it seems like the articles coming from Vice and a lot of the other media like Vice have kind of come to an end now as, you know, well, the special is not literally brand new anymore. So if you're not aware of what I'm talking about, Dave Chapelle released a new special just a few days ago called Sticks and Stones, and well, personally, I think it's one of the best comedy specials that I've watched in a long time. Dave Chapelle is one of my favorite comedians ever. I think that he's one of the best comedians to ever do it. If you know anything about Dave Chapelle, you would know that he's always kind of been known for somewhat pushing the line. He's always kind of been there. He's always kind of had that same style of humor. Well, I guess it never used to really be pushing the line. I guess today it would be considered pushing the line, but back, 15, 20 years ago, it was just considered like hilarious. Now today, apparently it's considered like super offensive and edgy and horrible. But, well, of course, when you look at the name of the special, Sticks and Stones, I think you all can kind of, I guess, understand the message behind that. So, well, Dave Chappelle's new special caused a lot of outrage. Well, not like a ridiculous amount of outrage to the point that, everybody was destroying him. A lot of people stood up for him, thankfully, but of course, there were a lot of people upset about this, which, personally speaking, I think that realistically, it was just ridiculous. I mean, Dave Chappelle has always had these kinds of jokes. They've always been really funny. Sure, he kind of, I would say, turned it up a little bit in this special, but I think he did it for a good reason, and I think that the social commentary behind the jokes worked very well, and we'll go a little bit deeper into that, of course, but I definitely recommend if you have Netflix that you check out the special if you haven't seen it. It's a very good special. If you have a sense of humor and you realize that, yes, there are problems in the world, and that, yeah, there are issues in society we have to take care of, but yes, you can laugh at those things when there is a well-crafted joke about them, you probably will find this special pretty funny. Anyway, I want to show you guys some of the critic reviews on Rotten Tomatoes surrounding the Dave Chappelle special, just to give you guys a little bit of context into this horrible special, just so you guys can hear the things being said, because it's this bad, folks. It's really this bad. You guys are going to see this, and you might shudder. Melanie McFarlane from Salon.com, okay? Sticks and Stones exists as a defiant design to intentionally offend large swaths of the audience Chappelle deems too thin-skinned and easily outraged, while serving up simple, low-bar yucks to anyone yearning for validation of their anti-PC stance. Like dropping in on a rascally uncle who doesn't know or doesn't care how much he's disappointing you, from Inku Kang from Slate. Lacking empathy can certainly be amusing, but Sticks and Stones is a tired routine by a man who forgot to layer jokes into his act, too often sounding like a pundit on Fox News. While Ian Thomas Malone, I'm gonna be honest with you, when you watch that special, I hear the crowd laugh quite often, man. Usually when someone forgets to layer jokes into the act, the crowd does not laugh. I mean, I found myself laughing pretty often as well. When someone doesn't layer in jokes, usually I don't laugh. So basically what these people are saying is, well, Dave, his whole act wasn't agreeing with my politics and my stance, so it's not funny. And it's offensive. That's basically what they're trying to say. Now, you got John Nguyen, I think is how you pronounce this, from Nerd Reactor. He's one of the few comedians who can really touch on a lot of different sensitive topics and still make it funny. John Rumi, I think, from World of Real. There's an overwhelming feeling of now, as you watch Sticks and Stones, it feels immediate, a plea from one of our very best comedians to his own audience to stop the hysteria. But then you have Garrett Martin from Paste Magazine. Sticks and Stones is terrible, and Dave Chappelle can only blame himself for that. Yeah, no context on why this is horrible. Nothing to say why it's bad. It's terrible. Now, you got some mixed reviews here, you'll see. I didn't read every review, but you'll have some mixed ones. On one side, you'll see that people are like, hey, yeah, he pushes the line a little bit. He's kind of calling out this whole culture of PC, all these sensitive topics and whatnot. But he's still making it really funny. He's one of our best comedians. He's doing a good job. But then you have the other side where they're just like, oh, this is horrible. There's no joke here. This is just offensive, and this sucks. Like, they're just almost refusing to just even say that this is jokes. Like, they're almost just saying that he's going up there and admitting that this is, like, what he really is saying. As if he's going up there and the whole act is, like, reality. You know what I'm saying? And the funny, most ironic part about it, and what I don't think these people understand, is that they're part of the joke. And I don't think that they get this, but they are part of the demographic that is included in the joke. These people who just like can't understand the joke, who just have no concept of what humor is, who whenever the joke happens to be against them, and it's not against something just innocent, and whenever the joke has any modicum of like real world value, or it's like political in nature or anything, they're just like, well, that's just offensive, that's just shocking in nature, that just isn't funny, there's no joke there, this is a pundit on Fox News. Yeah, the joke is that he's making fun of you. That's the joke. I mean, I feel like we all kind of expected these people to be upset in reaction to this, I'm not gonna lie. But at the same time, I figured that maybe some of them would catch on to the joke, like, there's no self-awareness whatsoever in any of these people. Now, here's the funny thing. I'll just let you know this right now. So, the tomatometer for this whole special, which is like the whole critic aggregate review score or whatever for it, out of the 10 reviews, is 30%, okay, for this special. Now, when you look at the audience score, which has almost 23,000 ratings, is 99%. 99%, almost a perfect score by almost 23,000 people. That is quite the difference, don't you think? So when you look at that, what goes through your head, folks? You got all these critics who are part of the joke, they don't understand the jokes, and they just get instantly offended over anything because their sense of humors are literally drier than Arizona in a heat wave, okay? But then you got literally tens of thousands of people who are reviewing this on their own, who actually watched the special from like an independent viewpoint, and were like, holy ish, this is actually hilarious. This is great. This is worthy of a 99% out of 100 on Netflix. Isn't it incredible how there's such a difference in the scores here? This is why I almost never trust critic scores for anything, because they either get paid for something, like, especially critics for these kinds of things. I mean, when you go on, like, YouTube or something, even then, like, on certain occasions, it's hard to believe some of them, but, like, at least on YouTube, most of the time, it's like an independent viewpoint, and they're more objective about things. But with this, like, they're just simply doing it out of complete bias. I mean, if Dave Chappelle's new special really sucked, I would just come on here and be like, yeah, Dave Chappelle's new special it blew. I have no interest in coming on here and defending Dave Chappelle's new special. He's not paying me. I'm not best friends with Dave Chappelle. But these critics, like, they're part of the joke. So they definitely have interest in slamming this and trying to, like, destroy its credibility. And I mean, at the end of the day, like, you don't even have to agree with the jokes. Like, you don't have to agree with the sentiment behind the jokes. You don't have to agree with the fact that Dave Chappelle apparently doesn't believe the Michael Jackson accusers of what they had to say. You don't have to agree with him apparently, drawing the anger of the alphabet people or the LGBTQ community. You don't have to agree with those jokes. But when critics start trying to use and abuse their power to, like, bullshit and almost like straight up lie in some of their reviews and say, oh, there is no joke here, there is no jokes here, he's just like, he's repeating Fox pundit stuff, like, come on now. In reality, Dave Chappelle's new special basically is the kind of thing that comedy really needs. Comedy really needs more people like Dave Chappelle who are willing to make fun of people like this, who are willing to make fun of people who always have this mentality that they can't be made fun of. Comedy needs more people who are able to make fun of things that society has deemed so, protected that you can't say anything bad about them, that you can't make fun of them, anything like that. You know what I'm saying? And there's a clear difference between, spreading ideological hate and being bad to people and making jokes in a comedy special. There's a clear difference, because it's not okay, obviously, to spread hate and be horrible to people. But when you make jokes and you make things funny, and you brighten up the world, and you allow people to laugh for an hour or 2 hours, 3, however long your special is, however long you can make people laugh, or you can brighten up people's days, that's the kind of thing that this country needs. This country needs more happy moments. I mean, we're already going through a bunch of tumultuous crap, Do we always have to take everything so serious? Do we always have to take literally every single moment in history and every single day so serious? Do we have to kill comedy while we're at it? Well, thankfully, the Rotten Tomatoes crowd is not about to let that happen. The Dave Chappelles of this world are not about to let that happen. If you haven't seen it yet, Dave Chappelle's new special is available on Netflix. It is very funny. It is being acclaimed by the crowds who have watched it. It is not being critically acclaimed, it doesn't seem, so can't necessarily say that, but I would definitely recommend it. He tells a lot of very good jokes throughout the duration of this comedy special, and overall, I enjoyed it. I think you probably would too, if you have a sense of humor. Anyways, that'll be it for this video, you guys. Thank you for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're brand new around here on my channel. Follow me over on Twitter at @SubToOptimus. I post memes, thoughts, and updates over there. It's a surefire way to get notifications of all my newest content. Join the Discord down below. Lots of great things going on down there as well. Thank you to my channel members. Your support helps my channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, getting yelled at for telling jokes, and signing out.